What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to perfect the low bar squat position. And if you don't know, there's a difference between low bar and high bar, and low bar is basically where the bar is going to sit on top of your rear delts compared to the high bar where it sits on top of your traps. So essentially what you want to do is pin your shoulder blades together as much as possible. And then from there, that's going to create a low bar shelf for the bar to sit on. So once you unrack it, you want to make sure that the bar is nice and secure. You're wedged up against the bar and you keep your shoulder blades together as much as possible so that the bar does not slide down your back. The more you can pin your shoulder blades together and drop the elbows just enough. You don't want to do too much because that will create a loss of position. But the more you can pin your shoulder blades together, the more of a low bar shelf it's going to create. And therefore you can get the bar to sit on your rear delts. Here's me dropping my elbows too much to where I lose that shelf position. And the bar is going to roll down my back. And this will create a lot of elbow and wrist discomfort over time. So what you want to do is you want to squeeze your shoulder blades as tight as possible. Here I am actually not squeezing my shoulder blades together. You can see how flush my upper back is. Now technically the bar is sitting on my rear delts, but it's not secure. And look how much, once I drop my elbows down, look how much the bar actually slides down my back. And again, this is going to create a lot of elbow and wrist discomfort over time. Likewise, you can do the opposite where you're squeezing your shoulder blades together and allowing your elbows to stay a little bit too flared back so that when you unrack, the shoulders kind of dump forward and you end up promoting more of a forward torso lean and you won't be able to keep your chest nice and tall and resist the load on your back as much. You can create a false grip if you're lacking mobility in your shoulders. You can use a false grip where the thumbs are not wrapped fully around the bar like this. And this will kind of band-aid the mobility until you get the proper mobility through your shoulders to create a proper shelf. Now this is kind of problematic. You could see that the bar was sliding down my back once I dropped my elbows down. So if you can create a really tight shelf by squeezing your shoulder blades together as much as possible and just dropping your elbows down and rotating them enough so that you still create that shelf and you don't lose the shelf. The reason why you want to slightly rotate the elbows under the bar is to create tension in your lats and keep your chest nice and broad so that you are not dumping forward. Now again, to reiterate, you want to squeeze your shoulder blades and wedge yourself into the bar. Get that bar nice and tight on your back where it's sitting on top of your rear delts. And the only way you can do this is if you retract your shoulder blades and squeeze them together and then just slightly rotate the elbows under, not too much to where it rolls down your back. And you can actually do some mobility exercises to promote a better position. So here's going to be the first one. This is called the snow angel. So it's essentially trying to reiterate that position that you would in the low bar squat. So you can see my shoulder blades are squeezed really hard together. I'm pinning them and then I'm rotating into external rotation through my shoulders. And then I'm going to bring those weights to my head. Now the key word here is external rotation. So you want to keep your shoulders as pinned back and down as possible. If you allow your elbows to stay high like this, that's causing internal rotation. You're not going to get the most out of it, and that's going to cause less of a position that we want to carry over into that low bar squat. Next up, we have a PVC pipe pull down where I am actually pressing tension up against the squat rack itself. And I'm trying to pull this PVC pipe down towards my neck, essentially into a low bar squat position by really utilizing those mid traps and lats and trying to externally rotate through my shoulders. So I start wide and then I go a little bit more narrow to create a more specific position as I would hold the bar in a low bar squat position. So I'm trying to pull down, squeeze my shoulders together and really pull through my shoulder blades and not just my arms. You should feel a ton of tension in your lats and mid traps. And then lastly, we have a banded face pull with external rotation. These guys are really brutal. So you want to squeeze those shoulder blades together and then rotate your palms to the wall behind you. You want to make sure you're rotating through the shoulders and shoulder blades and not just through the elbows. Because again, we're trying to promote shoulder external rotation to get that good shelf position. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, then rotate through the shoulders and try to get your palms to the wall behind you. Now here's my actual training footage. I had sets of 7 with squats. I was trying to really get that low bar squat position, which I had done all those mobility exercises prior to this, so it actually felt really strong on my back. I am a little bit deconditioned from doing rep work right now, but my squat is going to start gaining momentum, hopefully. Followed that up with sets of 7 on conventional deadlift. I am only doing sumo deadlift once a week and conventional deadlift the other day. Kept it really light and easy and just focused on good movement and volume and work capacity. And then to follow that, I wanted some more leg volume, so I threw in some hack squat machine. I guess this is a hack squat machine, but I wanted to really get some good blood flow in my legs without taxing my back too much. So this was a good way to do that. I tried to keep full tension throughout each rep, so I didn't fully lock out until the very end, and I just went through the full set without stopping. And then I followed that up with some single limb RDLs. And I had my back leg slightly supported. This is kind of like a Bulgarian RDL, you could call it. And the reason I did this was so that I can make sure that I had full tension in that front supporting leg, and I wasn't too focused on balancing or stability necessarily. I'm not really resting any weight on the back leg. It was more so for balance. And you can see I'm kind of reaching with the back leg, but it's not really resting or providing extra support with that back leg. But I really felt these in my core, my hamstrings, and my glutes, of course. Finished it off with some pump work. I got a good pump in my legs. Again, I was trying to get more blood circulation through my quads, kind of get a pump in there. So I went really slow and controlled, try to squeeze at the top, and I went to complete failure on these. And then lastly, I just finished up with some cable ab crunches just to get some core and ab work in, which is very helpful for people who are power lifters, whether you like it or not. And I'm supposed to do a meet in about 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to be honest, because I've been dealing with some injuries and I haven't been able to recover and train properly for it. So we'll see how things play out in the next couple weeks or so. I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next time.